All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about Terence Crawford and Errol Spence and rumor. This is a rumor coming from, please don't let it be so. Terence Crawford's demands for the Errol Spence Jr. fight and the potential holdup that it will cause. If this is true, unbelievable. But let's do that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. We're in this video again talking about Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford. Rumor has hit the street about the details of what Terence Crawford is asking for from the PBC in order to make the Errol Spence Jr. fight. Now, before I get into that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Make sure, if you like the video, to make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, to make sure that you don't miss the videos that we do on a daily basis, the live streams we do on a daily basis. If you're a longtime subscriber, thank you again for subscribing. Thank you for your support. Truly, truly appreciate it. And make sure you guys leave comments in the comment section. Really have a great forum here. Have a lot of really good conversations about boxing. All right, so first and foremost, shout out to the great Best Fight the Best Boxing. One of the best channels on YouTube. If you ever want to get a guy that is all about the facts and not about the fluff, make sure you guys go check him out. Was just listening to his live stream, and he shared the information that he had received about the what it is that Terence Crawford wants to make the Errol Spence Jr. fight. And let me tell you, man, I certainly hope that is a starting point and not where he is trying to end up, because the request is absolutely out of sorts with what any reasonable interpretation of what the money in that fight is. And what is he asking for? According to these rumors, it is a rumor, so you know it is what it is. $20 million guaranteed and a 50-50 cut of the pay-per-view. All right, $20 million guaranteed and a 50-50% cut of the pay-per-view. That is somebody that is trying to price themselves out of a fight. I cannot see how Terence Crawford, if that is true, how Terence Crawford would expect for that to actually take place. First and foremost, a $20 million guarantee right there is probably 50% of, close to 50% of the total revenue that fight would produce, period. Second of all, 50-50 cut of the pay-per-view is something that Terence Crawford does not, based on what he has done in the past, does not deserve. Because that is clearly not approaching an equitable split when you're looking at it from the perspective of Errol Spence Jr. Now, I'm sure that there's a lot of people that are out there that are saying, hey, we really don't care who makes what, right? And then saying, hey, Bud deserves to get paid because Bud is a number one pound for pound fighter in the world. And I agree that he is. He's, he is a big reason why people want to see the fight, all of that. However, I think that you need to look at it also from the standpoint of Errol Spence Jr. and what Errol Spence Jr. has done to the table to make it a viable fight. And I will tell you that it is significantly more than what Terence Crawford did to make this a big fight. First of all, if you look at the actual pay-per-view numbers that these guys have done on different occasions from the numbers that are out there, you have Errol Spence Jr. that is averaging somewhere around 300,000 pay-per-views, 350,000 pay-per-views, somewhere around there. But just to be conservative, say he's averaging 300,000 pay-per-views for the pay-per-views that he's had with Sean Porter, Yordenis Ugas, Mikey Garcia, Mikey Garcia, and Danny Garcia, right? Average around 300,000 pay-per-views for what has actually been communicated. Now, Terence Crawford, on the other hand, has 3 pay-per-views and and from my understanding, is averaging somewhere around 90,000 pay-per-views sold. One was at 50,000 for gosh, I can't remember who. Oh, for Victor Postal was like 50,000. Amir Khan was like 110,000, and the last one with Sean Porter was like around 130,000, right? So 130,000 and 120,000, what is that? 250,000 plus 50 is 300,000, right? So you divide that by 3, you're looking right around averaging 100,000 pay-per-views. He's averaging around 100,000 pay-per-views. Errol Spence Jr. is averaging 300,000 pay-per-views. That's 3-1. Okay, that's 3-1 in what they're bringing to the table in the pay-per-view buys, right? Then you look at the gates that they did. For example, the last gate that Terence Crawford did with Sean Porter in Vegas was a $1.2 million gate. Errol Spence Jr.'s last gate on top was with Yordenis Ugas was over 5 million, slightly over 5 million. So basically you got a 5-1 advantage for Errol in the tickets sold. You got a 3-1 advantage for Errol Spence Jr. in the pay-per-view. You actually have a 3-1, and I'm not saying that this is necessarily a very relevant factor, but you have a 3-1 advantage for Errol Spence Jr. in the belts that are being sold. Come on, man. That is not reasonable at all to say $20 million guaranteed and 50% of the pay-per-views. That's just somebody that honestly, that's Terence Crawford trying to take advantage of Errol Spence. That and thinking Errol Spence Jr. wants to fight that bad, then he'll do what he needs to do to get the fight, including that. Which I'm telling you, man, if he was to stick by that makes sense about why as Steven Espinoza said, look, man, where we are right now is that, hey, this is a big fight, but, if people want to get paid Mayweather money, look, we're not going to pay you Mayweather money for that fight. We've got to get to the point where, where we have something reasonable. That right there is unreasonable. And anybody that says that is reasonable, I mean, I don't think you want to fight. I think, to the extent that conversations about the fight can build up the fight and have people be interested in the fight to the point where networks are willing to invest in it. Because when you do talk about fights and there's a lot of buzz about fights, that's, one of the things that people take into consideration for making the fight, right? And that all of the buzz around people saying that they want the Errol Spence Jr. fight and Terence Crawford fight is the reason why the networks would probably, along with the fighters asking for it, would be the reason why they would be considering it. But if this was just something where you look flat at the numbers and you don't take into consideration the name of the fighters, and you had a guy that's bringing in one third of the pay-per-view buys, 1/5 of the tickets, and 1/4 of the belts, saying that they want 20 million guaranteed on a fight. And then here's another thing. Errol Spence Jr.'s last fight generated somewhere around might have generated somewhere around $28 million, something like that, when you looked at the pay-per-views and the gates, right? Then you have Terence Crawford, whose entire fight with Sean Porter and Sean Porter generated $10 million, and Bud is going to ask for $20 million out of the gate, on guaranteed. Man, Errol Spence Jr. is only getting $1 million guaranteed. Out of Showtime, at least that's what's on the books. And I know that the PBC has different books, man. But look, if that is true, all I can hope about that is him just going as high as he can and negotiate, and then trying to negotiate to the point where, he'll settle for something reasonable, because that is sometimes what people do in negotiations. But it wouldn't be surprising that he's asking for that much, seeing as he got $6 million guaranteed from Top Rank to fight Sean Porter. But anyway it goes, man, that's just a bad look. I certainly hope it's not true that that is what he's looking at doing, because no doubt about it, that is going to be a holdup for the fight. And that will be no other that be nobody holding that fight up in that instance but the people that are asking for that. First of all, asking for 50-50 is it's like, all right, man, you're asking for Errol Spence Jr. to do a Deontay Wilder with Tyson Fury when the man is like he can't get a fight with the big money guy and he's desperate to make the fight. Dude, Errol Spence Jr. said that he would bend, but he wouldn't break. But in this particular instance, it's looking like Terence Crawford's trying to break the bank on him, if that's true. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.